justice in Palestine criticized the assignments in a news release. A spokesperson for NYU says the disciplinary process is meant to be educational. Some students are calling it a coerced confession. WINS News Time 7:08. A $320 million pier built by the U.S. military off Gaza's coast is operational, day after it was anchored in the Mediterranean Sea. President Biden making good on his pledge to help relieve the suffering of civilians in Gaza more than 7 months into a very destructive war between Israel and Hamas.
The U.S. military says the first aid trucks will depart today when a pier off Gaza's coast, delivering shipments of aid directly into Gaza. Once fully operational, the temporary pier could add 150 trucks of aid a day. That's a boost, but still no substitute for the capacity of the Israeli-controlled land crossings. The U.S. and UN calling on Israel again to reopen the seas dropped for border crossing, warning of fuel and food shortages, but there's no signs that will happen. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
WINS News Time 7:09. Traffic and AccuWeather's next. 10-10 winds. 92.3 FM.
Memorial Day deals are here at Lowe's. Right now, save big on Scott's Nature Staves mulch. Get 5 bags for just $10. And there's more. Get up to 40% off. Plus, save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances. These deals are selling fast, so start shopping now. Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 5/29. Mulch excludes Alaskan growth. Appliance size, variables, and purchase. See those details. Selection varies by location. Price and yes.
AccuWeather's proven superior accuracy means you'll be better informed and better prepared with precise local forecasts and severe weather alerts. You might think that all weather apps are the same, but in study after study, the superior accuracy of AccuWeather's forecasts and warnings have been proven in all categories. When you have things to do, you want the weather forecasts that are dependable and accurate, so you can count on peace of mind. Download the AccuWeather app and store daily. Wins on 92.3 FM. Right now at 7-Eleven, get a Big Bite hot dog and a large Big Gulp drink for only $3. It's a big meal that'll make you feel like a big deal. Grab a big meal deal for only $3 with 7 rewards today. Valid through 6/25/24. All right for zip plus tax. Participating U.S. stores only. See app for full terms. Weekends here. Here's the AccuWeather 4-day forecast with meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Tonight will continue to be mostly cloudy. We'll get down to 58 for an overnight low, and those clouds are going to hang tough throughout the day tomorrow. Now, the good news is, again, outdoor activities, the vast majority of the day looks dry tomorrow. There will be a couple of spotty showers that pop up especially during the afternoon. But again, most of the time dry tomorrow, even despite all the clouds. And 69 tomorrow. Rather cloudy tomorrow night, low 56. Clouds will break for some sunny times, and Sunday, high temperature around 72. So Sunday will be a somewhat brighter day compared to tomorrow. Then a lot of sunshine by Monday. Will be warmer with a high of 74, and will warm up to near 80 degrees by the time we get toward the middle of next week. And I'm connected to the just from the times of the New York weather station. I'm Tom Burns on 92.3.
Cloudy, 70 in Midtown. Winds news time, 7:13.
This is Jason Powell. I'm proud to serve for 33 years, culminating as the deputy commandant at West Point. Put this on your calendar. World War II weekend inside Old Bethpage Village Restoration on Long Island. Scores of operational vintage armor in formation, May 18th and 19th. Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman invites you to join him in saluting America's greatest generation and all those who have worn the uniform in defense of our freedoms. That's May 18th and 19th, presented by the Museum of American Art.
Living on the lung transplant wait list means waiting for the call that could save your life. So we get patients off the wait list 5 times faster than other hospitals, with the highest success rates in New York. At NYU Langone, the #1 lung transplant program in the U.S. Learn more at nylulangone.org/transplant.
Do you have bad credit but need a new car? Do you have trouble getting a car loan for any reason? Call Credit Solutions, a division of Hudson Hyundai. It's easy to apply right over the phone. No matter your credit past, they can help. Call 800-951-4221. That's 800-951-4221. You can drive a new Hyundai with just $68 down. Like a Hyundai Tucson, only $68 down. An all-new redesigned Kona, just $68 down. Even an all-new redesigned Santa Fe, only $68 down. Drive home today. Call 800-951-4221. That's 800-951-4221. Choose from their huge selection of over 500 cars and SUVs available. And all new Hyundais come with Hyundai Assurance and America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Call Credit Solutions for a pre-approval today. 800-951-4221. That's 800-951-4221. Or HudsonHyundai.com. Credit severity affects approval. See dealer for details. Winds news time, 7:15. You remember that Canadian wildfires for airspace last summer? Climate experts say it's likely to come back and become our new normal. Last year, Canada had the worst fire season on record, burning over 45 million acres, about the size of North Dakota. That smoke smothered the city for 3 days in June, 1 day in July, again in December. Horrendous air quality we're not really used to. Even worse than in the subway, where everything's always vile and disgusting. Wildfire smoke in the city last June led to a 40% jump in emergency room visits for asthma-related illnesses. Most of Canada is experiencing drought conditions, with many of the wildfires from last year still burning, and most weather models forecast a dry summer ahead in Canada. Winds news time, 7:16. World Soccer governing body FIFA will hold a special council meeting to determine if the Israel Football Association, or IFA, will be suspended from international competition. The Palestinian Football Association had called for a vote to ban Israel over accusations that the IFA had violated FIFA rules during the continued war in Gaza. The #1 golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler, was arrested and charged after an incident on his way into the PGA Championship in Kentucky. Cops were on the scene investigating the death of a pedestrian who was struck by a shuttle bus when this all went down.
The police report says the arresting officer was in full Louisville police uniform with a high-visibility reflective jacket when Scheffler, the world's #1 golfer, refused to comply with instructions around a fatal accident outside the Valhalla Golf Club where the PGA Championship is being held. The report says Scheffler accelerated forward, dragging the detective to the ground, leaving him with pain, swelling, and abrasions to his left wrist and knee. Scheffler calls his arrest a big misunderstanding, but he's charged with second-degree assault of a police officer, criminal mischief, reckless driving, and disregarding traffic signals. Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Gymnastics star Simone Biles says she's better equipped to handle challenges ahead of her third Olympics. The 27-year-old became a touchstone for the discussion around mental health at the Tokyo Games back in 2021 when she pulled herself out of several competitions because of mental trauma. Biles says she's now working with a therapist regularly, even during meets. The 7-time Olympic medalist begins preparations for Paris at the U.S. Classic in Hartford. Hey, if your name's Kyle, you
might want to head to Texas this weekend, be part of a new Guinness World Record.
It's a gathering of Kyles. Where else but Kyle, Texas? About 30 miles south of Austin. The official record they're shooting for at this year's Kyle Fest, the largest first-name gathering in world history. The record set in 2017 in Bosnia.
2,325 islands currently on the goal, so you need a minimum of 2,226 tiles.
Rachel Saunier is one of the hosts. Last year they fell 836 Kyles short of the record.
We had Kyles as far away as from New Zealand and Australia and Germany. 49 of the 50 states.
Chris Fox with that report kind of makes me think of the whole keychain thing. I'm looking for something that says Ashoke. It's not there. Hey, would you like a spot of tea with a splash of pesticide residue? I'm guessing no. That's why the brand Yogi is recalling about 900,000 tea bags. The FDA in a report says pesticide residues were detected above action levels in 54,000 boxes of organic Yogi Echinacea immune support tea bags. The FDA says it's not very likely to cause health consequences, but Yogi voluntarily recalled the affected boxes. Wins News Talk 719.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Risa, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Adult years of allergic to Skyrizi, serious allergic reactions, and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
The station you know, the people you trust.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Cloudy, 70 degrees at 7:20. Good evening on the show. Kabbalah, here's what's happening. The Knicks and Pacers are not doing battle at the Garden tonight, but fans are packed in there for a viewing party. 3 firefighters are recovering from injuries after a house fire in the Bronx. As the MTA's congestion pricing plan looms, a federal judge heard arguments on challenges to the toll. The qualifier for Nathan's hot dog eating contest went down in Times Square today for the big show on the 4th of July. The Vatican rolling out new criteria on what's declared a supernatural phenomenon. The Knicks could finish the Pacers tonight in Indiana, Game 6, just over an hour from now. Yanks, White Sox. Bottom of the first, Yanks are up 1-0. And let's see, the Mets and Marlins, no score yet in the bottom of the first. 10-10 Wins AccuWeather, cloudy tonight, low 58. Tomorrow, cloudy with a shower in spots, especially in the afternoon, the high 69 for Saturday. And Sunday, clouds will break for some sun at times with a high of 72. Wins News Time, 7:21. Traffic and transit with Greg Rice.
Well, you've got a whole lot of Yankees traffic that didn't quite make first pitch. We still have a 20-minute ride on the upper and lower levels of the George. Getting out of town at the George, only the southbound Henry Hudson is good, and the Deegan's still awful either way to the stadium. Southbound past the Cross Bronx and northbound from right off of the RFK Bridge. Lincoln, a heavy 30-minute ride in. Outbound got better. The outbound Holland were almost there, but still 20 minutes of outbound traffic. Inbound, an extra 20 from the Skyway. The Newark Bay is better. Bronx-bound RFK, either way with the Whitestone, City-bound Midtown Tunnel, and either way on the Brooklyn Bridge. A whole lot of company still there. Across the Upper East, at least, the Throgs Neck Bridge, that's the best idea you've got in either direction. Out of Nassau into Queens, it's still a battle. Westbound LA and Northern, jammed up from Glencoe Road. The Southern State slow west from Newbridge Road all the way on out towards Eagle Avenue. Staten Island Expressway, you have a whole lot of company either way towards the MLK, the Expressway. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
The Knicks are not battling the Pacers at the Garden tonight, but fans are packed in there for a viewing party, hoping to see the team get back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 24 years.
It's a sold-out Madison Square Garden tonight, even though the Knicks are not here, but there is a watch party. Donna Wash has had a front row seat to New York playoff success this year.
I work at the Garden, so
we're coming to the watch party. So I'm super excited to have both the Rangers and the Knicks in. It's super exciting time for New York, definitely.
She's here with her son Joseph, so if the Knicks win, how's he celebrate?
Oh, I'm partying on 7th Ave with everybody else.
Which is exactly how it went last night. The Rangers punched their ticket, and hundreds were celebrating right here. The Knicks have battled through injuries in this series. No OG Anunoby tonight for the 4th consecutive game. Matt Rosenberg, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM at MSG.
3 firefighters are injured, one of them in serious condition after a house fire in the Bronx. It was around 3:30 this afternoon at a multi-story home on White Plains Road near Patterson Avenue. The FDNY says the blaze is under control. They're working to figure out the cause. A man from Long Island is facing a slew of charges after a burglary spree that targeted 7 luxury homes on the North Shore. Cops say 64-year-old Vincent Doherty made off with pricey designer handbags in 3 of the cases. His felony charges include second-degree burglary. Doherty was arrested Tuesday. He's being held on $1 million cash bail at court bond and is due back in court at the end of the month. The Nassau County DA calls Doherty a career criminal with burglaries spanning over decades. The 2021 incidents were captured on surveillance video, which police used along with clothing to connect him. Members of the Suffolk County DA's office, along with those who lost loved ones, are pushing for Chelsea's law, which would hold drug dealers accountable for fentanyl-related overdose deaths.
Lori Carbonaro talks about her 22-year-old son Nicholas, who died from an overdose.
It's all poison to me. You know, it's all poison. And yes, some people say it's a choice. I do not 100% agree with that.
Members of the Suffolk County DA's office, along with those who lost loved ones, are pushing for Chelsea's law to hold drug dealers accountable on the overdose deaths of drugs laced with fentanyl.
And the fentanyl, you know, what can I say? I mean, it is a weapon. And to me, it's a weapon of mass destruction.
So be all 10 wins of 92.3 FM.
A witness at the bribery trial for Senator Bob Menendez testified today certifying that meat sent to Egypt followed Islamic dietary requirements skyrocketed from around $300 per container to over $5,000 each. This happened after a single U.S. company was given a monopoly in a deal prosecutors say the Democrat arranged in return for bribes. Allowing meat certification ended up in the hands of a single company. Menendez's independence, rather than several companies that had done it in the past. Prosecutors say the 70-year-old senator was behind the creation of the monopoly as a partial payback for bribes he received from a friend of his wife. Charges now lodged against Menendez include bribery, extortion, fraud, obstruction of justice, and acting as a foreign agent of Egypt. He's pleaded not guilty. Very new calls from Democrats for conservative Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito to recuse himself from January 6th cases after the New York Times reports that Alito's guilty American counterparts outside the Northern Virginia home after the attack on the U.S. Capitol.
It's certainly strong. Is suing Spotify over a word change in the description of its premium streaming plan that it says is being used to slash the payments in half. The word is bundle, and under a 2018 law, streaming services pay less when their services are classified as bundles. The word was not used prior to March 1st. Spotify says the claims are false and that it's on track to pay a amount of money to artists this year. On Wall Street, the Dow closed above the 40,000 mark for the first time ever, adding 134 points. The Nasdaq lost 12. The S&P added 6. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour.